Welcome back to the next topic. Our next topic is collocations. Is our topic collocation? What are these collocations, and what is the importance of knowing and dealing this topic in the classroom? Because see, before I'm going to tell you the importance of these collocations, and I want to tell you something. In English, sometimes two words or two nouns or two adjectives, or a noun and adjective or an adjective or verb, they go together. So when they are going together, they have to make they have to make a good or a right sense. They have to make a good sound. Because most of the times native speakers of English, they use the two nouns together at a time. For example, for example, strong tea. Strong tea. See here, strong is a word and tea is a word. They are using them together as a single word. As a single word, they are using. So whenever we happen to observe the two words going together, we call it as collocations. Most of the times, English speakers, native English speakers, they use these words just like this. So whenever they happen to use these words, don't think that there might be something, but they are a single word. So collocations are the words which actually two or more words go together. So collocation is nothing but a collocation is a word which actually go two or more words together. So that is what we actually call as collocations. There are two words, there are many words which actually go together. So we the people who are supposed to get aware of these words which actually going together, because sometimes we do not know what to use. For example, if you are taking a test, so what do you ask? Write or test or exam. But this is not the right way to ask. Take an exam or a test. I'm taking a test. I'm taking a test. I'm taking an exam. It is not I'm writing an exam. This is not the right way to say. Because native speakers of English, they use English in different way. So those words, when they are using the words just like this, they are called as collocations. So these collocations, sometimes two words may go form together and give us a different meaning, and as well as sometimes they may form more than two words. More than two words. When they are going together, they're going to give another meaning. So we the people who are supposed to be get ready when it comes to this type of words. And let's take some of few more words. For example, I'll ask you this one in our mother tongue. This one. Um, you've been to a party and you happen to see your friend. Now, my friend told me to dance well. How are you going to ask her? Or how are you going to ask him? Not the dance as the. So how do you ask that? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, most of you people might not aware of this one, and that is the reason they do not know, and we do not know actually how to use this one. We have to say, have a dance. Have a dance. If you are asking someone to dance with you, this is how you have to ask. Let's have a dance together. Manidram kalisi dance cheddam. Rendu manidram kalisi dance cheddam. This is how we have to say. So here, how a dance is called as a collocation. So we the people who are supposed to be very careful when it comes to the usage of collocations. And also, as I have told you, take a call. Whenever we are talking on phone, or if, for example, if phone ringing, how are you going to say? Lift the call, lift the phone. That is how we say. That is not the right way to say, if I'm not wrong. So this is how you better say. Take a call, and also if you are supporting someone, you can use strongly support. I guess you are getting the exact meaning and exact word that we are actually talking about, and also right on time, RIGHT, right on
Welcome back to the topic called collocations. And just now we actually have seen the introduction of these collocations, and that is how actually these collocations are actually used. And let's see what. Let me give once again the brief intro of these collocations. And as you are seeing here, collocations normally, if you observe, these collocations normally is made up of two or more words that are commonly used together in English. So that is what actually collocation means. Collocation is nothing but it is actually made up of two or more words. So you're not going to see one word. So there are going to be two or, well, it could be three words or it could be anything for that matter. So they are commonly used together. They actually come together and they make a good sound. So they give you actually right sound. So these collocations are those words are actually called as collocations. For example, as I have told you earlier, strong tea. A strong is a different word and tea is a word, different word. So when we are actually putting them together, so we're going to make are we going to give a good sound? We're going to introduce a new English word for that. So collocations also actually helps us to improve good vocabulary too, and also you can say we don't we say we say a heavy drinker, a person who drinks a lot. So heavy drinker is he can be said as a heavy drinker. So this is how we actually say. This is how we actually go for these collocations. So as you have seen in the introduction, so that is how the collocations actually go together when it comes to this English language, right? So as you are seeing here, as I have told you, collocations are nothing but two or more words. So there are actually a group of two or more words which actually go together. So when these are actually going together, make sure they're supposed to give a good sound. They're supposed to give a right sound to native English speakers, so who use them all the time. So if you whenever you happen to watch an English film, whenever you watch an English film, we can actually find these words a lot. If I'm not mistaken, by the time you finish the film watching it, if I'm not wrong, around 10 words, not less than 10 words you're going to find as collocations in that particular films. So what I'm suggesting you to improve your collocation. So we as we are learning a foreign language, English is also considered as a foreign language because that's not our language actually. So though you may be maybe an Indian, so English, when it comes to English, English is our foreign language. So when we are learning it, so we're the one who's supposed to improve vocabulary a lot in order to keep ourselves more perfect when it comes to these type of words. And as you're seeing here, on the other hand, the other combinations may be sometimes unnatural and they sound too odd. So that's the reason we the people supposed to be careful when we are using them together. So that is how it actually goes. So make sure in the examination they'll ask you. Take it for granted. This is how they actually ask you. What is a collocation? And I write at least 4 or 5 examples to this collocation. Then you simply say that collocations are nothing but or a collocation is nothing but the two or more words that actually go together and they form in a single word. So that is how they actually sound more natural. So that is how you have to tell, that is how you have to write when it comes to the part of this collocation. And next, yeah, the best example. So just now you have witnessed on the board, and the more you're going to see over here. So we have divided them into natural English and unnatural English here. So we the people most of the times, if I'm not mistaken, the people who wanted to learn English, they actually make a lot of mistake when they're actually speaking of it, because they thought that it would be okay for them, but when it comes to the native speakers of English, it is not at all nicer to listen. So that is the reason we the people who supposed to practice these collocations. So when you actually practice them, you can easily go for it. You can easily make an appropriate collocation. So let's see what is this natural English and the natural English. So we the people, whenever train goes fastly, then this is how we actually say the fast train. We say the fast train. We never say the quick train. So there are people who are going to say like that. So because as it is moving faster and quicker, and people do assume that it would be a quick train. if I'm not mistaken, you may not use, but there are people who are actually using them. So it's an advice for you to keep check the language that you're using when it comes to public platforms, right? So never say the quick train, better say the fast train. And next one, we say the fast food. We say the fast food. We don't say the quick food. So whenever we going on road, so we happen to notice some fast food centers. They never ever say quick food, because fast food itself is nothing but you can make food which is very faster. If you wanted, for example, if you wanted to boil rice, if you wanted to go for a cooker rice, it takes time. If you wanted to make a curry, it takes time. But when it comes to the fried rice and all, it won't consume not more than 7 to 10 minutes of time. So that is the reason they are actually named as fast food. So we the people who are supposed to be careful when we are using those things. Yeah. So never ever say quick food, but you must say the fast food, right? We must take sometimes in our emergency, or when we are getting ready for a function, or when we getting ready for a party, or when we're getting ready for some emergency meetings or some emergency occasions. So we need to take a quick shower. We should not take a fast shower. So as you're seeing here, we should not say a fast shower, but we should say a quick shower. Just now I took, let me take a quick shower. That is how we have to say. We should not say, let me take a fast shower, because you're going to finish it in a faster way. No, it doesn't mean that, oh, sorry, it is not the word that you have to use over there. So we the one who's supposed to be careful when we are using those things. Yeah. Never ever say a fast shower, but better say a quick shower, right? So whenever we wanted to have food, sometimes we don't get time to eat those things. So that's the reason we say, let me have a quick meal, or sorry, so let me have a quick meal, or let him have a quick meal. This is how we actually say, but we should not say a fast meal, right? So as if you're because you're going to have it fastly, it doesn't mean that you should use the word fast. So we should not use it. So we should not even dare to say the fast food, or the fast meal, or a fast meal, but we must say a quick meal. So you might have noticed the difference between this natural and unnatural English. So whenever you speak like this, everybody will do appreciate, and your English sounds good. But whenever you are going after these type of phrases, take it for granted, your English going to be too odd. So that's the reason we have to be very careful when it comes to this part. Right. So there is a question. There would be a question. So why are we supposed to learn these collocations? What's the importance of this one? So as I have told you earlier, so your language will be more natural and more easily understood whenever you speak to them. So we don't say strong tea, in the place of strong tea, we don't say tough tea, right? It sounds too odd. Even we don't say hot tea. When we go for cafeteria, or when we go for a coffee cafe, so we ask for strong tea or strong coffee, but we don't ask for a hot coffee, right? Isn't that? So it won't sound much good if you order for hot coffee, right? So that is the reason. That is the reason. So we have to ensure why we have to learning, why are we actually learning these collocations? For this sake. What is the sake here? They are supposed to be more natural. Your language will be more natural and can be easily understood by the people. For example, if you, of course, if the people are not going to notice you, because we the people who are actually most of the times allowed to speak, in our mother tongue, because we pretty much comfortable. But when you encounter native speakers of English, or a good English speaker, that would be a big problem for you. So that's the reason you have to be careful when it comes to that certain type of things. And next, and also you will have an alternative and richer ways of expressing yourself. So you don't use the words, you don't use the vocabulary that which is actually used by your friends, or which will be used by some other people. So you can have your own language, and you can express yourself better than the others. So these calculations will actually help you to give you a good exposure towards the language and all. And and it is not big, it's not even tougher to remember. So they're actually very easier to understand, and also You can use language in chunks or blocks rather than a single words. So you better use them. You better use them. So that is the reason. Well, for the sake of this one, we have to learn the collocations. So whatever you're learning in English language, take it for granted. They are not don't think that they are not useful. But everything is useful. You take it for granted. Whatever you're learning in English language, they are going to helpful. They are going to be helpful for you according to its time. Because we the one when we are learning a language, we should get update ourselves with the things just like this. And moreover, as you are going after, as you are into this first year, there's a lot to go for what. So for more years or 2 more years going to be in your hands. So you can improve your language instead of going after spoken English or communication skills classes, etc. Right? Yeah. Before we're going to start our going to see what are these collocations, let's see the types of collocations. So these are the several types of collocations that you're actually seeing. So these are actually combinations. So they are not, as I have told you, they are not a single word to be discussed or to be alone. So they are a combination. So that is what our definition to. Two or more words they actually form together. See here. uh, some words actually go adverb plus adjectives. So completely is an adjective, and sorry, adverb, and the adjective is satisfied. So completely satisfied. This is how we actually say. We don't say downright satisfied. So when we are using something, we have to be very careful what we are actually using it. So what we are actually going after. So that's the reason we the people supposed to use appropriate language over there. And sometimes an adjective and as well as noun go together. So excruciating pain, it's not excruciating joy. We should not say like that, right? Sometimes noun plus noun actually go. A surge of anger, not a rush of anger. See here, if I'm not mistaken, you might be noticed the words that we are actually using, and these words actually collected from an English film. So right, next see noun plus verb. Sometimes noun and verb actually go together. So we should say lions roar. We should not say lions shout. Okay, lions never shout, my dear. They always roar. Okay, lions roar. That is how we have to say. And sometimes not only noun plus verb, verb plus noun also they go. Commit suicide. We should not say undertake suicide or making suicide, something we say. We should not say like that even. So what we have to say, commit suicide. That is how we have to say. That is the right way of telling that. And next, verb plus expression of prepositions. So burst into tears. This is how we actually say it. That is how we actually say, actually burst into tears. We're not going to say blow up in tears. Okay, so what we are actually using matters a lot. So that's the reason we have to be careful what we are actually using of, right? So verb plus adverb and wave frantically, not wave feverishly, right? So we have to make ensure what words that we are actually using and what they are, how they are actually giving an impact on the people. So when this is just for your knowledge sake, my dear. So they're not going to ask you types of collocation. If they ask you, so it's okay. So it's not a big deal. The video is going to be with you now onwards, and you can just go through it at any time. All right. So adverb plus, these are the types, adverb plus adjective, sometimes they go together. Adjective plus noun, they go together. And noun plus noun also go together. Noun plus verb also go together. Verb plus noun also go together. And sometimes even verb plus expression with the prepositions. So we have some expressions where we can take the help of prepositions. That is how it actually goes. And when it comes to verb and adverb, so even they actually go together. So when they are going together, we can see the new words as you are seeing here. So these are all the new words that you're going to see. And if your people still using the language just like what are you seeing in a, in the brackets, in the parentheses, make sure your language not supposed to be like that, but the language supposed to be like this, completely satisfied. So your language supposed to shift from here to here. Okay, you should not say downright satisfied or I'm complete satisfied, and not like that, completely satisfied. That is how you have to, right? So these are the types of collocations. And next, we're going to have an exercise. So this is the exercise that we got over here. and you have to be very careful when you're doing this one too, because when it comes to this exercise, we get easily get confused. You take it for granted. We easily get confused too, because they are very familiar for us, because we use them in our daily life. So that's the reason we the people, there is a chance we the people make a mistake. So that's the reason, don't go for any kind of mistakes. So be careful when you're doing this exercise. Yeah. Let's see. um, how many of you say a heavy meal, or how many of you say a bulky meal, or how many of you say a quick meal? Just now we discussed the importance of these collocations, and also you have witnessed some of the examples that you actually made. Sorry, some of the examples that you actually have witnessed. So you gone through all of those, and you're the one who's supposed to be careful